Well, good day, a good evening, a good morning, and a good welcome back over to the ELO Hell Beginner Division Grand Finals. Yeehaw! As we're going to have Q Press versus Smoked Minds, and join with me is Bemmy, that's me, and along with me is Moxie. How are you doing, Moxie?
Well, I'm doing good, Bammy. It is indeed the finals, so we'll see what we see. It's Li Zhang up first. We've already seen that Lord Zelron was on the Sombra very, very early. Manages to throw himself out of the ship. Don't exactly know how he managed to do that, given no one's picked their heroes yet.
Hashtag quick. I think they didn't start the game mode yet until, until the thing actually started. So either way, do you think Q Press is going to do the same thing, or do you think they're going to bluntly stated respect their opponents a little bit more?
I mean, I think Q-Press is going to do exactly the same thing. That being said, Nutty Nanza not on the Genji, onto the Zarya. Looks like they could just be running with straight up Sombra Goats, with Sofa Wolf on the Moira. Meanwhile, you've got Lob Terminus on the other side, Doomfist.
Well, you have to wait and see if they go out with it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, he could be shut down immediately, though, by Lil Alex. Sombra being a very hard counter to Doomfist.
We'll have to wait and see. I honestly would have loved McCree more just because of flashbang, but hey, that's just me. We're going to see the Doomfist go in right now, see if they can find the results. Almost goes down immediately, getting ready for that next charge up to go around, and here we go. They're punching the Reinhardt. Their target prioritization is really good, getting that knockback. Bubbles are going to help out, charge up the Zarya a little bit more, and this actually may help Q Press just kind of finish this up. Nutty able to do what they can with the Zarya, but now they're falling a bit back because they don't want to give up this point, and they are building up that charge, but is it going to be enough? Mewtwo King, not the legendary melee player, but right now the Overwatch player is going to be able to just push on through and get that 2K and wrap it up, and that's going to be roughly about it. Just able to get that little bit more of charge with the bubbles than Nutty was able to, and that's going to be point going on over to Smoked Minds.
Well, Q-Press were after the Rhine from the start. You could see even before the actual engagement started, Swilbert so low, manages to get back up, doesn't drop the shield, goes in again taken low, antied, and just kind of deleted, but they still don't manage to get the team fight.
Why did they grab?
That was a very early grab. Could have been a little bit of a fat finger.
It actually managed to find all 5 people. There was just nobody there with them. So I'm very curious. There is going to be the grab coming in from their side, and they're going to be able to find both tanks, which is huge. The EMP comes in, isn't going to stay them alive. They do have the Ana. They did manage to get the anti and the nano boost just in the nick of time before the EMP came out. So they will be able to keep up this momentum that they had, just barely living. That was so scary. Mewtwo King dropping that grab earlier. They still managed to pull through.
Well, Lord Terminus hasn't really been bothered that much by Lil Alex, which you wouldn't expect to see. Normally in the Sombra Doomfist matchup, Sombra gets the hack off, the Doomfist is essentially deleted from game. You can't punch, you can't walk, you can't really run. You just have to kind of crouch your way away.
It's very true. Earth Shatter comes in,
Oh,
block comes in, but not going to happen. Counter Shower comes in, but there's Lucio out of the way, so they were able to drop the Sound Barrier. So pretty much technically both are nullified, and also Swilber will get caught off guard. So beautiful stuff from Balthazar, staying in the back line, keeping their team alive, and allowing them to just stay on the momentum side. They dropped a Meteor Strike, see if they can at least maybe find one player, but they're just going to get hacked and shut down. Like you said, the Doomfist gets deleted by the Sombra, and they will finally get some percentage on the board, but a good 90% for the side of Smoke Minds, or 89.
Well, Lord Terminus in that Meteor Strike could have had Sofa Wolf, landed almost directly in front of the Ana, doesn't manage to squash her head, then indeed hacked and deleted.
Alright, now they're going to get bullied at spawn a lot, and,
Well, this is what Li Zhang is, and also the Brigida behind just to make sure that that shield bash...
Oh, did they manage to knock... Oh, I thought they knocked off the Reinhardt for a second, but the anti-nade still just huge. Gets a little bit of a hack. They're falling back. They're using the Sound Barrier as the aggressor here. Interesting call. They do lose X32, but they do still win the team fight out overall. But UTMP, but interesting call on that as well. Not really, there's a... I think these nerves of grand finals are getting to these players a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have invested Sound Barrier in that fight because now you have no answer to Nutty Nanza's grab.
Yeah, but, Lil Alex dropped that EMP, and that was an interesting call, but here comes the EMP again, 4-person EMP, and this will just allow them to flip back up the point. Dare I say it, last team fight territory. Mewtwo King still going to be holding on to this grab, but drops it right now the moment I say that. Is it going to be enough time to follow up, though? They do manage to at least get Balthazar, but they're going to be able to spawn
Balthazar
back very
dies
quickly,
1% away from his ultimate.
Yep.
That's going to
Sound
be
barrier
huge
coming.
and painful for his team.
It will be painful for their team. You know, and Zero is just able to get X32. They are working very well to try to keep this alive on the side of Q Press, but is it going to be long enough? They do get Trotsky. Okay. But you got Mewtwo King, and then they're out of the way, and I think they're just going to go ahead and re-engage because they know they have last fight territory coming up.
Yeah, you have to go aggressive at this point. Don't let your enemy have space. Don't let them group up. Try and get a stagger. Get an early pick.
Surprised they haven't switched off this Doomfist, especially with the fact that both are running Sombras. You would have that information, and I don't think it's gotten too much value. Coalescence comes out, Sound Barrier. They're overlapping support ultimates, which I'm not too big of a fan of, but yeah, I think it's okay though because they
Trotsky's
did manage to
going,
close
but he
down.
can't touch, and neither
Nope.
can the Doomfist, and that will be first map finished. Yeah, it was very interesting that they kept sticking with this Doomfist, not finding much value, not really getting many picks, and also not being much of a nuisance. Doomfist can, even if you don't get the picks off, still be worth actually having on your team if you're managing to get the distractions in, but Lord Terminus not able to find much of anything on that character.
Yeah, Terminus was doing a good job earlier into the game, getting that knockback onto the Reinhardt, so that way the shield was gone when they were going up against the Death Ball. But the thing is that, or the Somber Goat, excuse me, it just kind of filtered out, and you know, Smoke Mines, they did a really good job. Very close map. Very happy to see that. Certainly a lot closer than last series, so they're certainly giving Press Q their Q Press their money's worth. So we'll see if they can do anything with this triple DPS composition, see if they can get a value, or they're actually just going for the Wrecking Ball dive now that I'm looking at it. Pharmacy's still in play though, that's kind of the crucial thing you want to pay attention to. And they already got Sofa, which is huge, so that is the mercy gone of the
They're
Pharmacy.
looking for this swap onto Zelron, and not managing to find that secured kill.
No, they're not, and right now X32 going down, it seems a little bit tricky at the moment. The Bulls getting pressure, they're a little all over the place. Actually, I think establishing a base of operations has helped out a little bit. Lord will go down, and also Zelron as well. Terminus and Zelron, the Pharmacy is gone. Just realize they're both Lords. Interesting fun fact for you if you're paying attention at home looking at the names.
Well, we'll see. Lil Alex coming up towards an EMP. X32 on the opposite side of the spectrum. Not doing so well on the ultimate charge at the moment, but as a Sombra, that can change incredibly quickly.
It can.
But he doesn't really have many meaty targets to target for his ult charge. I mean, you've got the ham into which, yeah, you can hack and then chunk that HP down, but you don't have a diva.
No,
which
but
Lil Alex is laughing about because Mewtwo King is onto that exact pick.
We'll see if it works. Mirage comes out, they're able to get Swilber. You know, that's value right there. The landmine's not going to come into play to get a more ult charge with that, buying a little bit more time. But it looks like even with the barrage dropped and managing to get the Wrecking Ball, they are going to be able to turn it around. So, you know, they're just kind of buying for percentage right now, and they finally will flip it over. And again, another close set right now going on.
Well, yeah, we've got the barrage from Lord Terminus coming up together with the Valk. EMP, if they decide to combine it, could go really well. Balthazar ready to drop that barrier as soon as that barrier flies up in the sky.
That's very true. You know, so they drop the barrier, they rush to point, they drop some ults that they have online right now. They could go for the EMP Blade combo if they so desire. I'll have to wait and see what happens. Well, Nutty and Lil Alex, that EMP Blade is totally gone because both players that need to be part of that is eliminated, so buying a little bit more time and good stuff on Smoke Mines, just initiating into that action, Moxie.
Yeah, well, silver lining, Lil Alex and Nutty Nanza both, yes, died at almost at the same time, but both didn't press the Q. They didn't actually decide to put the ultimate into that, so they didn't waste those.
No, they did not.
Oh, Swilber, he's looking. He's on the side, and I would hope, knowing that they're running into a Hammond, that they go for main.
They're hungry, and they want to get this out, but we'll see what happens. EMP comes out, the Blade as well. Interesting call, not really anybody much there. Self-destruct sequence could be huge. Sound barrier. Alright, that'll keep everybody alive as Zero JK goes down because the landmines are above ceiling, so that will be able to find everybody. And honestly, this is just kind of awkward. The floor is lava, but the sky is lava for the opposing team, and now it's just quite literally a minefield. So
Yeah,
even
that
though then
floor
they
is
still managed to
lovely.
hold on to it.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're Balthazar, you're crying at the moment because you invested Sound Barrier, but X32 just translocates in, drops the EMP, and all that HP that you've been given for that Lucio Sound
Yep.
Barrier ripped away immediately.
It is. So less team play territory.
And
We'll be
he's
able
not
to
going to have
touch,
that ult back.
see what we can. Yeah, no ults. They actually entirely switched their entire roster, so we'll see if that's able to help out.
They're going to be walking into
their
a barrage.
barrage
That's not going to be nice.
Yeah, but they can eat a lot of damage, but 0JK goes down to get the DMAC, and this is not looking good. For the side of Q Press, it looks like Smoke Mines will be able to tie the series up 1-1.
Yeah, bomb on point.
Yeah.
That's a zoning ult. It's going to get a kill as well. While Alex out of the fight.
It's roughly about everything. So going into Gardens after this, I'm really not expecting them to turn this around. You know, going into Gardens after this, what should we be expecting?
I'm guessing Nutty Nanzo is gonna be on the Genji. We've seen him like that pick before. Well, Alex, possibly the Sombra. Sombra can be very potent on Gardens. If you play it correctly, the thing is, we saw before Q pressed on Gardens. Throwing in ults, but not really cooperating and throwing them in as a team. It was more just solo play. So hopefully we'll see something a little bit differently, maybe a bit more communication.
Definitely. I think the communication is there. I think just the concepts are not fully fleshed out. Like, they definitely have the target prioritization. They're like, okay, well, we're going to go, you know, if there's a blade, then we're going to try to go for, you know, main tanks or try to get DMAC followed by the supports in the back line, because that's where you do a lot of your flanking as a flanking DPS. So we'll see how it works out. Going for triple DPS, almost mirror for mirror, a couple of DPS switches. We do see that... No, it's actually Wrecking Ball Die versus Triple Deep. So, okay, this will be interesting to see. Already off the bat, the booper will be out-booped. There you go. Swilber able to get Balthazar. It's going to be great. The Radiant Healing gone now, and this gives Smoked Minds pretty much the go-ahead to just take this point right now, Moxie.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how long Trotsky decides to stick with this Zenyatta. Zenyatta, not typically a hero you see in Gardens, given that if you do get hit by a Pharah Concussive or a Lucio or Hammond, you are pretty much guaranteed to go off the map if you're anywhere near it. So not having that much mobility, but he's making the pick work. Just lobbing in discords and damage as well.
Oh, Lord.
The immediate swap and pick off from 0JK onto that bar. Lovely.
Lovely, but, I mean, are they not going for the res? They're just going to go ahead and let it be.
They're not. I mean, it's
Alright.
a smart play. The Widow knows exactly where the death came.
Yeah, and, well, on top of that, they are probably worried about maybe rezzing some of their tanks as well, because they can output a lot of damage and do a lot of damage as well, so that could be another factor in and of itself. To see Trotsky go down, might be doing the res on that potentially if they need to keep alive, but I think they're just going to go ahead and forego this. I think they understand that this team fight is pretty scrappy at the moment for them, and they're just going to get taken out one by one. They're going to give it. Lord, you know,
They're not
Terminus
gonna give
is
it, they're gonna go for the
No,
res.
well, they're going to... Okay, they're going to go for the res, but that's Sofa Wolf doing it, not Zelron. I was worried about Zelron doing the res, so if they go ahead and give up the point, fair enough, build up a lot of ult charge, and there you go. They have a lot of ults in the economy.
They do, and they have that EMP ready to shut down Swilber's ultimate if he so decides to throw it in. See if any environmental picks manage to come off. Well, it's looking for an EMP opportunity. In the back line, waiting. He's wanting to catch the Zenyatta.
Here comes the landmine.
Doesn't manage to get the Zen. The Zen's hidden behind the rock, out of line of sight. Doesn't matter though, because he gets taken out by the gun anyway.
Yes, but Swilber able to get 2k. Keep on pushing.
Yeah, Swilber keeps a hold of the mines and then drops them at a place where he's not affected by EMP.
Yeah, and it seems like even though 0JK drops the information, see what they can find, but it is kind of ill-timed because at the moment they're just contesting. Are they going to be able to go in there all together? Nutty is very low in health. They do manage to have that Mercy, but the Mercy's very low in the ground. Could be fully exposed. They're trying their best. Lil Alex does go down. He managed to get the hack onto Edwin, and ooh, alright. Ground pound, huge from Swilber. loving the Wrecking Ball in the middle of the point, and this is looking like they could flip it over, but they're really trying their best just to build up percentage and force Terminus to drop their ultimate and get the good trade going on, and this is still kind of a little bit more in favor. They forced a lot of ultimates out of, Smoke's Mines, and they can easily turn this back around. They have the percent lead as well.
Yeah, well, Nutty Nanza uses Barrage in that fight, and I was hoping and waiting to see whether the pick would come off, because that was not an opportune moment to throw in a Barrage if you were going to be playing Pharah again. But we're going to see the Soldier and the McCree, both DPS, decide that they're going to try and deal with this Pharah.
See what they can do and see if they can address the Pharah at all. And they don't have the Barrage to worry about anymore. Here comes the EMP though, however, so the sound barrier won't find too much value, and they will be able to shut down landmines, kind of making things a little bit stickier. Smoke's Mines could actually just go ahead and take this map right now. Terminus able to get that 2k. They're trying their best. They go into OT, but the Transcendence is going to keep the rest of them alive. They managed to get Sofa Wolf. This is very important now. They are able to find a lot of results because of that. So the Mercy gone, no Valkyrie, no possibility of res or healing to keep up the momentum. The Wick will start going down at some point soon once they're able to get Edwin. And are they going to be able to touch in time? They will because of Lucio, but they get hacked. They're just pretty much staggering at this point. And that is going to be it. Smoke Mines take the first map of the series.
That's something that we didn't really expect to see, given Q-Press's performance last time on Lijiang.
True, but we didn't get to watch how Smoked Mines were doing.
We did not indeed. We're going to see Mewtwo King get play.
Good for them. Don't know if they named themselves after the Smash Brothers player, but might be interesting to ask. But either way, what were your initial impressions of Smoked Mines since they managed to close this out fairly efficiently, but a very close series all the same?
Yeah, it is definitely a lot closer than the previous game that we witnessed. We're seeing that X32 is actually finding some good picks on the Sombra, lovely to see. And Swilper is apparently able to hold his own even against a Sombra as a Hammond, not an easy feat to accomplish. We're going to go to Dorado, which is going to be interesting because of the amount of compositions you can run on this. We might see the return of the Bastion. We might see some Dive, though. Maybe some Winston being played for the main tank.
Potentially, and Q-Press also did win off of this map, so...
Well, not just win, but very dominantly.
Yes,
their presence. They pretty much, they full health. Which was a little bit painful to watch, and we saw that they knew exactly how to counter a Bastion on attack.
Traveling to Dorado.
Yeah, they definitely knew how to address it, and their target prioritization was really good. Their crossfire with the spam damage between the Pharmacy and the Junkrat was very good. So we'll see if that is going to be answer here. I guess we just have to wait and see what happens.
We do indeed. It could be that they do the same as they did, or it being the finals. Maybe they've been holding out on us and are ready to spring a brilliant 2000 IQ composition.
Like?
Clockwork Vendetta, hopefully. I'm not gonna lie, I am hoping to see a little bit of the CV come out to play. Smoked Mines did promise that if they were 2-up in the grand final, they would play Torb Goats. So we may see that coming out from them if they win this map.
Torb Goats?
They did say. They said that in their application sheet. They will play Torb Goats if they are 2-up in the grand final.
If they're 2-up, so probably it's not going to happen right now because they're not 2-up. But
indeed,
we'll see what happens. I mean, after this it is 2 CP, so we'll wait and see what happens there. But looking at this defense for the side of Smoke Mines, they are going to be running this bunker composition, having the D.Va just to contest as quick as they can. I like the Pharmacy.
But what's missing, though, is a Baptiste.
It is a Baptiste that's missing. The Immortality Field would be crucial, but mayhaps they feel they trust their target prioritization, most likely.
Yeah, Zen's so valuable with those damage orbs.
Yeah, so, the Discord orb, see what it works out with. They have to go up against this classic Death Ball with just Genji and the Sombra. Really good stuff. They are going to have to go through a lot.
Is completely unaware of the Sombra behind him. Now knows because it comes out of stealth. Not gonna find any initial picks. Zero JK and Nutty Nuns are both falling very low. Almost get picked up, but hold alive.
Quite honestly, just trying to play for the distraction game at the moment as they're kind of pushing through, getting to that choke. And now they don't have to worry about that high ground advantage that was originally given over to the side of Smoke Mine. So Q Press, however, they're going in, but they're getting shut down, and this Reinhardt's just not going to do it. As you said earlier in one of our series, the Reinhardt gets so shut down by a well-established Bastion.
Well, if you're a Reinhardt and you're going against the Bastion, the best way to take the Bastion out is to charge, but you need to have perfect communication with your Zarya. Because what you want to happen is you want the Reinhardt to come, you want the Reinhardt to approach, you want the Reinhardt to get into charge distance, the Reinhardt then has to tell the Zarya, do you have bubble? I'm about to charge the Bastion. The Zarya then has to go, yes, I have bubble, you have a bubble, the Reinhardt at exactly the right moment. Hope that the Rein manages to get the pin on the Bastion and kill it, and then hope that either your support can get the Reinhardt out, or your team moves in, allows that space to be taken away from the team that you're trying to charge, and hope that you can actually manage to just walk forward and save him yourself.
Yeah,
It's gonna be so hard, though.
It is gonna be hard, but they're doing a good job right now. Nice little anti-nade, but how are they already get the Reinhardt? Wow, they are just kind of in synced. Both the Orisa and the Bastions just kind of wiping them out one by one, and 2 minutes left on the clock. They still have plenty of time, but sometimes when you get stuck at this choke at the beginning of Dorado, it's just so hard to get through.
Yeah, I mean, you did indeed see Edwin try to go for that pin onto X32, but Swilber just kind of takes the bullet for his Bastion and prevents that from happening, and then Edwin, being a charging Reinhardt, is left completely vulnerable.
Yeah, interesting call to go for the pin, especially with that amount of fire.
And no Zarya bubble. He doesn't get bubbled at all in that engagement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Zarya bubble was on cooldown and they used it for somebody else, so that's probably why, but they shouldn't have done that in the first place, so I completely agree with you on that. It is a unique call. They have a lot of ultimates coming online, though. This EMP Blade could be just what they need.
Oh, but
they are going to do it. EMP Blade comes out, and they also are going to drop the Nano, but the Barrage is going to come back in the line. They are able to get the 2K, but the Dragon Blade is able to get X32, but they're able to get the res off, and now these ultimates are all pretty much all for naught. Smoked Mine holding this, and they got 60 seconds left. There could be a world where they just full hold this, Moxie.
That could be a point where they just full hold this, and look, the payload has practically rolled all the way back. It doesn't matter that they didn't have to deal with the high ground. It doesn't matter that they had to get dropped down, and that's a pick on Nutty Nanza immediately before the engagement properly starts.
They were in that backline the entire time, staggered. Well, the sound barrier comes in, they stay alive. Good job. And also on top of that, they are able to keep the momentum going. So beautiful stuff right there.
They need to pick the Zen off. Zero JK, if he wants his EMP up.
Shatter's huge, but nobody able to follow up on it. So they're just going to keep on living. And thanks to that Transcendence, they waited just in time to do it. Beautiful stuff from Trotsky. Mewtwo King able to get Galbuster, but I don't think there's going to be enough. EMP comes out. This could be huge, but they don't have a blade to follow it up. They are going back and forth. However, Edwin able to get Swilber. There's the main tank gone. They're not going to be able to res. There's the Valkyrie coming in. They're buying some time. Tank mode comes out. They're able to get the res. Can they find anybody? They get Nutty Nanza! Oh my gosh, they actually are able to turn this around with the supercharger. They're able to finish this off. The 2K comes in. X32 will wrap it up in Sentry mode, and the Wick will go down, and he will not even get the first tick.
They weren't able to deal with the Bastion. They were not able to shut down the Bastion at all.
They also let a lot of res happens.
They did. A resing Mercy is a vulnerable. If you see a Mercy right in front of you or in the open resing, then you have to clamp down on it. You have to make sure you get that pick off, not only to deny the res, but to get the Mercy out. Because that's damage boosts taken away, a source of healing taken away, and the 30 seconds later, the next res taken away.
It's another player you have to not worry about at all in general.
It's a shame. They didn't have the right communication, the right coordination as well. A Bastion, if you're going for a Bastion takedown, it has to be a whole team effort. And towards the end, I think they just kind of gave up on the Bastion, went for other things, didn't really commit to taking the Bastion down, and in the end, the Bastion gets its ult up and decimates 2/3 of the team. They're going to be regretting that one, I am sure.
Well, they're going to be certainly backs against the wall for sure.
Yeah, well, we're
As
going to
they
see Nutty Nancer
feel the
on the
pressure.
Junkrat, probably going to be taking up that label.
Well,
I went,
this
oh,
is the
pause.
Yep, and a little bit of a DC coming in from Zelron, but it's okay. It gives us a little bit of time to talk about this composition that we're about to see, which is the fact is that there is this is what won them the last game, and they had a really good crossfire setup, and it could pressure a lot of shields if we do see them go for this bunker composition like they did earlier. So I can definitely see this being the answer. Is there any other things we could be overlooking about it, though?
Well, the thing is, at the moment, Q-Press's composition is entirely based around shield break. You've got the Farah on one side, the Junkrat on the other side, up above, raining damage in. Swillbear is on the Hammond. And Terminus, he's not going to care about not having a shield. X32, he's going to be on the high ground contesting that Nutty Nancer. And if they're running the Farah, you would expect to see the Mercy. This is a composition based around killing a pirate ship or Reinhardt goats. This is not a composition based around killing triple DPS Hammond Mercy. I don't think they expected Smoked Minds to be running this composition, and I think they're going to be in for a little bit of a shock when they do see that this is what is going to be attacking them. And the worst thing is, it's going to be far too late for them to change.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to wait and see because they might just send out the Sombra to go in for some intel real quick. Spam damage is what is the name of the game, so they're going to try to keep this up as much as they can, but at the moment, X32 could be a very good hit scan, could shut things down. They are adding a lot of pressure, though, to see crossfire set up with both rockets and grenades going in from both sides. It is still the payload pushing, but they still have this high ground advantage and not being challenged off it quite yet. They're moving on their way back, though. They're going to try to hold on to this choke, but again, there's not much left. There's basically the courtyard and the fountain. And
they're falling back too much.
With
With the amount of space that Smoke Mines have to get, they need to be more aggressive. They're giving up too much ground.
Well, they have to, because they just have to be able to address this payload right now, and they need to disengage and be able to tactically reset. If they're not going in as a group, then they're pretty much done for, and they don't want to overextend quite yet, and they need to be able to stay together. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Again, they don't have much room to work with in general, so pretty much any situation just looks bad. Any play could look possibly like a misplay as well, just because of how much stuff they have to work with. And right now, here we go. Swilber will go almost down. They get slept and anti-nade and everything that you can in between, but they'll be able to manage to disengage. They're trying to get... Oh, they do manage to get Terminus, and that does stop them from pushing a little bit further. They can't res that. I don't think they would try
Terminus
to
was
do.
looking for that drop-in barrage. Doesn't find it. Finds staff. He will have it up next fight, and Lord Zelron is coming up to that. Does get it on line just as I say that. X32 coming up to Dragons. Mewtwo not finding that much ult charge. Not really close to his ultimate.
Tide could be
Fire
big
comes
here.
out. Is he going to find anything?
It might. Oh
No, it
no,
gets
they
shut
get
down by the
Terminus.
far.
Yeah, beautiful stuff right there from the far. Able to get shot at, but and they also take out the pharmacy though. That is going to be at least able to make it up for the missed rip tire. So 0JK, really just so strong in this fair. I've loved their fair before.
A little bit of early nano boost.
I think they were expecting an engage. It is kind of hard to read sometimes when you have a wrecking ball comp, because they can just go back and forth very easily, so you don't know if they're going to commit to the fight or not.
That's true. Edwin is able to get his shield back to full health because of this. It was looking in a little bit of a tatters before, but it is back to full health now. Nice and bright and shiny and ready to block Terminus's barrage. He's looking around trying to find where this fire is going to drop from.
Oh yeah, they are pretty much locked on to this fair, pretty much. 0JK trying to win this pharmacy duel, and they're doing a great job. Zelron's only kind of supercharging the Pharah, not going for the res, and in these aggressive fights, they're just not going to be able to res the body, so you might want to go for healing a little bit more in the long game, especially if you're going to keep going down like this. Here comes the Valkyrie. They are going to push in through with it. The 60 seconds remaining. We'll see if that happens. Terminus, yeah, forgoing that Genji. Don't know how much value they're going to get out of that I don't know if they're able to charge the blade quickly enough. We'll see what happens. Here comes the Dragon Strike.
First
It
choke,
might be
trying
able to get the
stop it.
Reinhardt. Edwin almost going down. Not to be the
Oh
case.
no,
There's the
yeah,
landmines.
he turns around. That's good. He
Good
knows the
timing
mines
on
are
the
behind
shield.
him.
Brilliant. Yeah, good communication coming in there from the side of Q Mine or Q Presser. Says right now they are going to go ahead and allow themselves to just sort of disengage a little bit. Dropping the Transcendence, just keep going. There is the barrage coming out though. They are going to be able to stay alive for just a little bit, but not long enough. Payload's getting close, but there's only 14 seconds remaining, and it looks like they could potentially full hold. They are trying their best. The Earth Shatter comes in to see if they can get Swilbert, not to be the case. Here comes the Riptide, though. They're going to try to, yeah, they're doing what they can, and they're going to just take out the Wrecking Ball with this. There's only a few seconds remaining. Music King's the last one remaining. The Wicked's going to go down. They're going to do the best they can. They got the Nano Boost coming out. Lord Terminus seeing if they can get this Dragon Blade. They're only 50% away. They're not going to be able to do this, unfortunately. And there's Trotsky trying to contest. It's pretty much a stagger at this point, unless they can win the fight. But
They get Nutty
they do that to get Nutty, but they can go for the res safely. They're in the back line, so they're fine. And Zero JK's almost to that barrage again, just slowly charging up. 60%, already at 70, about to go for the next hit. Nutty Nanza, because they were able to find X32, nicely done with the bear trap. And here comes the landmines. They're able to get Edwin. That is a big push, but they're a little low in health. But the Dragon Blade was able to charge up long enough. There's 2K right there, and they've managed to turn it around. The landmine's able to find Ryder, and they were so close to holding this, but it will be another close, and match point will go to Smoke Mines.
They turned it around. It was a Lucio and a Genji, and they turned it around.
Play of the game.
And if you're Edwin, you're thinking back on that shadow that you used to try and confirm the kill on the Hammond. And you're thinking, well, what if I'd kept a hold of that?
Yeah, well, it certainly really does ring to how well they can work under pressure on the side of Smoked Mines. So right now, we're going to have to wait and see if Q Press can be able to close this out with at least, or at least get back into the fight with at least one map to their name, or will it be a 3-0 for the grand finals for Smoked Mines? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to Paris.
I feel like I'm back in high school French.
We are going to have a 2-0 lead for the side of Smoked Mines, and it's going to be very exciting to see if they can close this out. They did make a promise, if Moxie, you would like to talk about it.
Yes, they promised that if they were up 2-0 in the grand final, they would play Torb Goats.
Ready for battle.
And I feel cheated because what I'd see is not Torb Goats.
I think
I
that's
feel
an
like we've
automatic
been baited.
disqualification.
This is, yeah, instant disqualification. This is lying on application.
Coming in 30
Big no-no.
False advertisement.
Fake news.
Fake.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
so excited for the top coat.
Well, you never know. They might be saving it for the attack. So there's
Maybe
still a
if
chance.
they full hold on A, maybe we'll get to see it come out.
100%. 100%. But either way, it's 2-0, and now, you know, Q-Press, even though they showed a really good showing of 3-0 on the semifinals, now their backs against the wall, and now they're in Paris, so it feels like it's going to be a little bit awkward for them going for the triple DPS here.
Yeah,
See if
I
they can
think
find
they're
it.
gonna see the composition that they're running into and swiftly return to the form.
And it looks like they're committing to it, actually. They're just going to go for the roundabout, see if they can just kind of do a pincer formation. Waiting to see what they can find here. The opening, they don't go for the ground pound, but they go for the charge. They see if they can knock off the Orisa, and they manage to do so. They're back into police station, and they get the ante, so they are able to get the main tank. Things are looking good for them on the side of Q-Press. Beautiful job, but they managed to get the res on the Swelber, but 0JK takes down the Bastion, and that's the threat that they were looking for. Beautiful stuff, exerting the resources and able to take out quite a lot of people. Can they get Zelium as well? And there's the Dragon Blade already, Nutty! Once again, living up to that DPS name of able to just get these charges so quickly. Beautiful stuff right there. Balthazar with the anti-name, just kind of a very beautiful cohesion of just kind of nice target prioritization and execution. And now they're going to have quite a lot of time to just take over Mansion.
Yeah, well, the call comes in. The ante is huge. Nutty decides, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna commit. She just takes the blade out and slices them up like butter. Butter that can't even try and heal itself to get away.
I can't believe it's butter. Oh, all right,
But
here
we're
we
gonna
go.
see the
Still
swap.
committing the bunker. Yeah, they're gonna switch over to. Let's see, Somber Goats.
Goats with Moira as the
They
main
really
source
like
of
this
healing.
Moira. Okay.
They do like the Moira.
It's
worked a
interesting.
little bit for them, but I'm not exactly sure how well it's gonna work against the Bastion.
Baptiste does have the immortality field, so the coalescence doesn't really output enough. They can get the immortality field quickly. I think they're just going for that radiant healing and damage. The EMP comes out. That's already a good way to start things out with your attack. Little Alex does go down, however, but they managed to get Trotsky. It's all about seeing if you can win that team fight initially, because they need to get quite a few people. Not worried about Mewtwo King right now, but they should probably not let them remech. They're staying alive at the moment. They could possibly, and already Edwin kind of caught in an awkward situation. They managed to get away with it alive, and 0JK with a shield bash able to take out Swelber, and things are looking good. The Coalescence really fast charging. If nothing about Moira, it is the most impressive thing is that they are able to all charge relatively well, but unfortunately not standing behind the statue. In the right angle will be able to find them. And oh, they do manage to get this tank mode off. X32 with the grab, but the Transcendence comes to save them alive, but the Earth Shatter comes out. But the Transcendence still going. It's good momentum right now, and they are, I think, able to shut this down. Terminus is on the Doomfist now, however, just to try to see if they can save the day. Not to be the case, but it's okay. Supercharger with the Orisa. 4 minutes left on the clock. Moxie, I said a lot of things, but what on earth just happened?
Well, they didn't get the Bastion. they
Yep.
focused on trying to get the point. The Bastion comes back in, stands on the side, pours in all the damage. This team cleans up, and Q-Pressed are sent packing. Sofa Wolf, unfortunately, not able to just dodge away from that Diva self-destruct. A little bit of unluck there. Buffsat will have Sound Barrier up, but he's not really going to have an ultimate to run it into, so they could use it to get aggressive. Mewtwo King only just swaps onto the Zarya, so I'm not going to have a grab up just yet. Going for the same rotation.
Oh, nice ante. Able to get 0, and now Edwin's about to go down with the Brig, followed by the Reinhardt usually, just because of how much they're in the front line. Yeah, there you go. That is the fight gone for Goats. And there, once again, Moxie tries to go for the full go-around, like you tried to do to avoid the Bastion and such like that, but they've already forgone the Bastion. They're keeping this Doomfist.
Well, the Doomfist does get so much value because they're all crammed up into this tiny little room. Yes, they go for the wraparound. Yes, they avoid the damage that they would have taken with a Bastion. But with a Doomfist, he just punches you into a wall, and if you hit a wall, you take more damage. The closer you are to a wall, the more likely you're about to get hit by one. He's just playing a little game of ping pong. And a little bit of pinball as well. And all of Q-Pressed are, unfortunately, the Bulls. different wraparound. This time they've learned their lesson. Actually, no, they're going into the same room. This could be very bad for them.
It could be bad for them. We'll see what happens. The EMP comes out, finds a lot of results, and you know what, Moxie? I'm going to say it was bad for them.
Yeah, I believe it was, and this is going to be a horrible stagger onto the Diva. Little Alex taking a little bit of a nap, going to be woken up probably pretty quickly by glass in the face. No, they just go for the hack. The body block. Yeah, they're going to keep him alive.
You're going to go for another sleep dart, potentially?
Nope, they miss it.
Nope. Fair enough. Whatever.
A little
As
bit of
they
a
use
tactical
dagger
courage
either
from
way.
Trotsky. Never know when there's a widow about.
Yep. Yeah, I suppose so. That would be the case of why you would do that, and no other reason.
Well, 0JK is onto the McCree, so you know.
True.
Tactical.
True. That's very true. They probably have that information right away. So 0JK, I do like this idea. X32 has been kind of getting to their grill in the back line, and that's been kind of very annoying for them. So I think this works out really well. So we'll see if that helps out. The sound barrier comes in, they go for the grabs. The Earth Shatter's not going to be able to find the result, but here comes the grab on the other end, and there's an EMP as well. Meteor Strike could be actually huge here. It puts quite a bit of damage, allow him to fall. The self-destruct sequence coming out, not going to find much. 0JK able to find, you know, Zelram, but that's roughly about it. And it looks like they might be able to try to get this this first tick, but it's not to be the case. 50 seconds remaining, and honestly, with how far away it is, it's probably last team fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can give a tick up on the point, and they're not even going to get a tick. They almost got a tick, but no, too short, too soon. And we won't see them even managing to clutch onto that. You can give a tick up, though, if you know that you're going to win a fight, because that means that you're going to keep the point. 0JK almost up to a Deadeye that has been built pretty fast. Nedi Nanzo onto the Tracer, going to have to be a desperation touch.
Okay, well, X32 able to take him down by 0 thanks to the hack, and now they're going for the Deadeye, but there's a lot of shielding, but the EMP comes in, but they're not going to be able to find results here. JK wasn't able to get out of that Deadeye quite yet. 10 seconds remaining. They will be able to touch, and the OT will begin, but will they be able to find at least one tick to their name? Edwin's almost going down, knows the time to save time. There's an EMP coming out. Beautiful job. X32's been looking really strong with this EMP, and the whiff will go down. And there is no time to touch this. That will be the hold on point B. And at least they managed to get 1 point. So there's some room to work with for the side of Q Pressed.
Yeah, point B notoriously defense favored on Parrots. Even more so now that we've seen the patch come in. And you get 1 minute less to attack. And the defenders spawned with, I think it's 3 seconds if you lose point A and are dead when the attackers come for B. So it's extremely hard now to snowball any point, which is a good change, I would say. However, the 1 minute taking away from your time bank, yeah, that's rough for a lot of attacking teams. Paris is one of those maps where you have to just kind of roll the defense so hard that they don't have chance to recover. Spawn
Moment of
being
truth, Moxie.
right there.
Moment of truth. Let's see if it happens.
Yeah, we'll be waiting to see.
Okay, there's goats.
There's X32 without locking anything in.
Okay.
I feel like we need a drum roll and some trumpet.
We'll probably have to wait and see what happens, but we'll wait. We'll wait. But
We'll wait.
we'll talk about the defense for the most part right now. They are going to be running a little more classic of that bunker.
Yeah, the Batiste bunker with the Farah over the top, just lobbing some damage in through the choke. Quite hard to walk into when you're going straight for a Bastion and a Farah. The Roadhog as well, that lovely combination between Orisa and the Hog, Hook and Halt.
5, 4, 3.
We're gonna be waiting. Oh!
Hey!
Hey! We're seeing it.
Defend objective.
Okay,
Okay.
now my day will be made if he takes the ham.
That's going to be a tall order to ask for, but we'll see what they can do. The fact that they're committing to this is kind of huge. It is going to be a little bit difficult as the turret doesn't really provide much at the beginning unless they can set up a crossfire, but the turret can get shut down very quickly. Terminus will go down. X32's turret as well. They're kind of in this back corner, and they are already going to probably lose this team fight. Police station's just not a very comfortable spot for them at the moment. And no Lucio as well. They do have the Lucio, but they got taken down right away. So that mobility of going around the police station not going to happen yet at the moment.
Yeah, Smoked Mines, they were stuck a little bit between a Bastion and an Orisa, both turning out to be hard places, and both turning out to be pretty dangerous. I don't think they'll be going for that approach again. At least you would hope.
Alright, they tried.
They tried, they did. We're gonna see the Hansler. Kudos to them, they did do what they said they would.
Yeah, they certainly did. Well, triple DPS, we'll see if this helps out in any way. As they have at least this Hanzo with the Storm Arrow to pressure the shield. They also get little Alex and Edwin. Okay, so it does help. Alright, sure. Immortality Field comes a little bit late, but actually does allow them to get the res, so it's not too late. They got the tank mode coming out and they managed to get 0 JK. So things are looking pretty good for the Mewtwo King, able to be taken down. And there's Trotsky gone as well.
The res is coming through though. They manage it.
Coming through. Lil Alex is still rocking it, but I mean it's only just Lil Alex and Sofa, so that is going to be pretty much it. Looks like the point will go ahead and be taken. So glad to see that triple DPS worked out. Very sad that Torque didn't though.
Yeah, I mean I would have liked to see a little bit more of the Torque, but X32 proving that he's just as good at Hanzo. If not better, considering he swaps and gets 2 picks off nearly immediately. Not so sure about the pick of the Hammond onto the Bastion for the matchup. Not exactly what you want to be doing, you'll just be feeding more ult charge to the Bastion, but I think they're going to be swapping off. Well, Alex returning to spawn.
Probably.
Staying in spawn. And Ash, yes, we're going to see the swap.
Okay, fair enough. Lil Alex going over with the Ash. Definitely addresses the pharmacy. They have 1 tick, so they gotta be careful. It does allow them time if they win this fight to build up the Bob, so things could work out pretty well for them. We'll see if this comes into fruition, however. I don't think it will be easy for them to get that ultimate. Sofa going down is not a good sign of things to come, but they are able to get Terminus, but the rest will come in, the EMP as well. There's the barrage, however, 0JK coming out of nowhere, able to find a couple of results, able to get Trotsky, X32, able to take him down. But again, his spawn advantage coming into play, Supercharger allows them to stay alive. Terminus not able to find results, Foul Mercy coming in online, and oh, just barely. Holy smokes, look at that tick. That was so close.
So close. But they managed to hold it, and Balthazar now has the Batiste ult up. And Mewtwo King, invested EMP, not going to have it up for this fight. Trotsky holding onto the Transcendence that could get them out of some hot water.
Wow.
We'll have to see what approach Smoked Mines attempts to take. It looks like they might just try and come from main. They're lobbing damage in that way.
I think they're really not worried about like trying to do any fancy flanking tactics. They just want to go in there and go for the jugular, it feels like.
Oh, most definitely. Swilber looking for it. Balthazar hacked before the fight begins. If they can pick off the Batiste early, that could be huge.
Could be in theory. We'll see if that is able to work out. The landmine's dropping out. They do have the Tesla cannon to eat some of that damage as well. And there's the Matrix as well. And they will be able to get Swilber. And I'm not gonna lie, Moxie. I'm getting kind of like Dorado Deja Vu over here.
Yeah, it does indeed feel like we've seen a little bit of this before. But they did manage to get 2 picks now. Mewtwo King does manage to find little Alex. And yeah, Trotsky only really gets the Orisas, but you get what you take.
That is very true. X32, ooh, okay, so they're able to get quite a few kills. They dropped the Dragon Strike, but the Immortality Field will allow them to keep alive. But they managed to get Sofa, but Bob, here comes it in. They're hacked, however.
Maybe
Ooh.
not a Dorado,
Bob.
it's just Bob.
Oh, wait, hold on. Bob bought them enough time to at least contest. They get a 2K, so they're still alive and in the fight. They go for the res. They are able to get Trotsky, but they're not going to be able to get them Farah. So the control of the sky is in their favor. However, they only have this 1 tick left, but they're able to get back in the nick of time. But Sofa's able to take them down, or get taken down by Swilber. But they're able to turn around 0JK, switching on over to that Tracer just in contest. And I honestly feel like the Bob able to contest bought them enough time to regroup, and this is amazing. They managed to still win the team fight.
I don't know how they managed it. Bob wasn't doing anything other than standing there, but yeah, they don't kill the Bob.
It's
And
a
so
player
Bob continues
technically,
to
so
contest.
you know, contesting. Yeah. Wow.
You don't
Okay.
need him to do anything. His presence is enough to save your game. All hail our savior, Bob.
Bob stands for big,
Omnic Butler.
like, butler. I was trying to figure out something like something like a synonym for contesting, but never mind. It's too far gone for that. But all right, they do have. So let's talk about the game real quick, which is that there's a lot of ultimates coming online right now, and this is kind of Smoked Mind's potential just win right here.
Oh, the bomb comes straight out. Oh,
Okay.
no, it gets Trotsky.
But the res could come in, but that means the res is gone.
I mean, you want to res your Zen. He moves forward so slowly. You've only got 30 seconds. You have to use the res. They're not going to.
They're not going to. Oh no! Oh no!
that's
I
a
think there
good
might have been a little bit of hesitancy.
I think there was indeed a little bit of hesitancy, and Zero JK saw opportunity and decided to pulse.
Okay.
Pounced straight on that Mercy.
Yeah, great call right there. They do have the Lucio, so they will be able to touch in just the nick of time. And they
But
also
you
have
would hope
Swelber as
so,
well.
unless there's going to be some communication error, because it looks like Mew might be in charge of touching.
Swelber is able to draw the landmines. There's the EMP coming out. It's only able to find the tanks, but that's sometimes big enough. The barrage is able to get the 2K. There's also the Dragon Strike, but it's still okay. Ooh, but Lil Alex stepped into a mine, and actually, that's going to be it. Smoked Mines will take it 3-0 and are your champions of the beginner division.
It was not a Dorado deja vu at all.
It was not, indeed. Well, there you have it. Your champions for the beginner division are Smoked Minds with a brilliant 3-0. Hard worked for and well-deserved. Beautiful target prioritization. And, I mean, really, I'm glad that at the very least there was a show put on thanks to Q Press. So they did a great job. Any last thoughts before we close out this entire series?
Well, I mean, we got what we were promised. We got to see the top goats. I know we only got to see him for like 20 seconds, but hey, go
Yeah.
forth, people of competitive. Play top goats. this is what Smoked Minds have given to you.
Well, thank you for blessing us with Torb Ghosts, and thank you to both teams. Thank you to Burger for broadcasting. Thank you to Mr. Moo for being able to keep everything on the straight and narrow. And with that being said, we will go ahead and close it up. I've been Bemi, that's been Moxie, and we will see you in the next season of
See
ELO
you
Health.
guys.